Coming up on Look Today, Wellcentis Healthcare explains the buyer switch in the sale of the Westmount Nursing Home. I'll explain. Plus, the rhetoric heats up in the Warren County Sheriff's race between incumbent Bud York and challenger Larry Cleveland. And a small gesture helps a woman cross off an item on her bucket list, and our cameras capture the moment. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson, and here's a look at what's making news today in Saratoga, Warren, and Washington County. Well, in our lead story, Wellcentis Healthcare has said that they listed David Greenberg as the owner of Westmount Nursing Home because Kenny Rosenberg appeared to have too much on his plate. Well, the clarification came just a day after Warren County supervisors questioned the switch. Now, originally, Rosenberg was listed as the buyer of the Westmount Nursing Home, someone the supervisors were familiar with. However, after receiving documents filed with the Department of Health, it showed that a David Greenberg was the buyer. Well, supervisors became suspicious because it was just days before the Department of Health review of the application. Well, Warren County Board Chair Kevin Garrity said that Kenny will still be involved, just not as an owner. And Rosenberg owns 20 nursing homes around New York State. Wellcentis Healthcare will operate the Westmount Nursing Home under the name Warren Operations Associates, LLC. Well, now changing from news to weather. As the final day of summer winds down, it appears that maybe summer weather will go away as well. After a much cooler and overcast day, how will the rest of the week shape up? Well, for the latest, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast. And back to the news. Well, the Warren County Sheriff's race has been fairly quiet since Larry Cleveland announced he was running as a Democrat earlier this year. However, that changed after Cleveland questioned several ethical issues about his opponent and incumbent Sheriff Bud York. Cleveland said that York is using a cell phone paid by the county for campaigning purposes, which violates the county's ethics laws. Cleveland noted that the phone provided by the county is the same number that's listed on his campaign site. Well, York stated that it's his main contact number and the one he uses whether he is on duty or off duty. Now, Cleveland has also criticized York for taking a state police pension while receiving his salary for sheriff. Cleveland has started a website where he lists the examples. Now, he was the sheriff 8 years ago until he lost to York in the Republican primary. Now, York's website criticizes Cleveland's handling of the 2005 Ethan Allen boat incident in which 20 people were killed. Now, the driver of the boat was not given a breathalyzer for possible alcohol use at that time. The election for Warren County Sheriff is in November. Well, also in the news, Lake George Mayor Bob Blais is organizing a memorial service marking the 10th anniversary of that Ethan Allen event. The ceremony will be held on October 2nd at 12:30 p.m. and include the readings of the victims' names, a wreath laying, and will include emergency responders that helped in the rescue efforts. That's way back in 2005. Blais said he wanted to let those involved in the accident know that the village is thinking about them. He said that he reached out to the survivors of the accident. However, no one can attend the ceremony. After the accident, studies showed that the boat was overcrowded. Now, in other news, many people have a bucket list. Now, that's a list of items that you would like to accomplish before you kick the bucket. Well, most people's lists contain items that are very extravagant, such as traveling the world, getting a Ferrari. But for Lisa Havens, her list contains items that most of us wouldn't even think about. Havens has cerebral palsy and was confined to a wheelchair from the moment she opened her eyes for the first time. Now, the item on her bucket list? To ride on a motorcycle. And she did that this past weekend. And that's thanks to Don Phillips.
Oh, it's the best. It makes my heart just feel like it's ready to explode, you know. I'm so happy and doing this for kids, you know. It's something they remember all their life.
Now check this out. Phillips, who added a passenger seat to his motorcycle, did that to give rides to veterans and children with disabilities. And he picked up Lisa from a home in Ballston Spa and drove down the Northway. Now, while it may be small, it's a reminder, isn't it, that even the simplest things should not be taken for granted. Still to come, owner of Upstate Canine Academy, Tom Davis is here to talk about how he can help you connect with your pet. Plus, Bob's Trees partners, Kathy Doyle and Doug Eaton are here. And they're going to talk about the history of the business and, believe it or not, holiday Christmas trees. But first, if you see news happening, you'd like to share a story idea or join us for an interview, give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000.